Let me start with a quick scenario. A company spends millions on marketing, launches new products, and track thousands of customer interactions every day. At the end of the month, the leadership team asks one simple question. What actually worked? The data exists. In fact, there is more data than ever before. Every click, purchase, and interaction is being recorded somewhere. But here's the interesting part. Having data is not same as understanding it. That's why the role of data analytics has become so important. Analysts help organizations make sense of massive amounts of information and turn it into decisions that affect products, strategy, and even entire industries. But over the past few years, something new has entered this space, which is artificial intelligence. AI can now write queries, generate charts, analyze data sets, and even explain insights in seconds. Tasks that took once hours now can happen almost instantly. So, naturally, this brings up to a big question that many people are asking today. If AI can analyze data so quickly, what happens to the role of data analysts? Will AI replace analysts or will it simply change the way analysts work? Welcome to this video on data analytics with AI. In this video, we will understand what data analytics is and why it is important, explore how insights are generated from data, learn about the different types of analytics used in businesses, see where AI fits in the analytical workflow, look at a short demo of how AI can assist the data analysis. And by the end, we'll come back to the big question. Is AI replacing data analysts or is it becoming their most powerful tool? Here's a quick information. If you're interested in building a career in data analytics, the Data Analytics Masters program by Simplilearn, offered in collaboration with Microsoft Azure, is a great place to start. This comprehensive program is designed to help learners become job-ready data analysts by combining strong fundamentals with hands-on experience. Over the course of 11 months, you will learn industry-relevant tools such as Excel, SQL, Python, R, Tableau, and Power BI, along with concepts like statistical analysis, predictive analytics, and data visualization. The program includes 20 plus real-world projects and a capstone project, giving you practical experience solving real-world business problems. You'll also earn a Simplilearn Data Analyst Master Certificate along with Microsoft course certificates, which adds strong credibility to your profile. With live online expert-led classes, hands-on lab and career support through Simplilearn's Job Assist, this program helps you build the skills needed to step confidently into growing field of data analytics. The course link is given in the description box below and in the pinned comments. Hurry up and enroll now. Before we begin, here's a quick question for you to answer. Which technology is most commonly used for querying data in databases? Is it SQL, Python, Excel, or Power BI? Do let me know your answers in the comment section below. Let me start with a simple question. Have you ever looked at the dashboard or a report and wondered why did something happen? For example, imagine you work in a company and suddenly someone asks, why did the revenue drop this month? You'll have all the data, sales number, customer activity, marketing reports, everything is there. But the real problem is time. Today, companies are collecting huge amounts of data every second. But having data alone does not automatically give us answers. Many analysts spend hours or even days trying to understand what the data actually means. This is where data analytics comes in. Data analytics helps us take raw data and turn it into insights that helps business makes decisions. But today, something even more powerful is changing how analytics works. That is artificial intelligence. AI helps analysts work faster, explore patterns quickly, and sometimes even suggest insights automatically. Instead of spending all their time writing a code or building charts, analysts can focus on asking better questions and making smarter decisions. In this video, we will look at three main things. First, we'll understand what data analytics really means. Second, we'll look at different types of analytics and how insights are created. And finally, we'll see how AI fits into analytics process and how it is changing the work of analysts today. So let's begin by understanding the basics. So first, let's answer a very simple question. What exactly is data analytics? In simple terms, data analytics is the process of taking raw data and turning it into useful insights that help us make decisions. Data by itself does not tell a story, but when we analyze it properly, it can reveal patterns, trends, and answer to important questions. The first step in analytics is collecting data. This data can come from many different places. It might come from databases, log files, CSV files, APIs, or even user activity from applications. Companies collect data from many resources because every piece of information can help understand the bigger picture. After collecting data, the next step is preparing the data. Real world data is rarely perfect. Sometimes values are missing, sometimes formats are different, sometimes multiple datasets need to be combined. So, analysts clean the data, transform it, and organize it before analyzing. Once the data is ready, the next step is analysis. This is where analysts start exploring patterns. They look for trends, relationship between variables, unusual behaviors, and important signals in the data. For example, they might analyze why sales dropped in certain region or why customers are leaving a service. Finally, the last step is action. Insights are useful only when they lead to decisions. Businesses use analytics to decide things like should we change the price? Should we launch a new campaign? Or should we improve a product? So, data analytics is really about turning data into decisions. Now, let's look at how analysts actually move from a question to an insight. Every analyst usually starts with a question. For example, a business might ask, why did sales drop last month? Or which customers are most likely to leave? Once the question is clear, the next step is getting the data. The analyst identifies where the data exists. It could be stored in databases, data warehouses, files, or APIs. Sometimes the challenge is not analyzing the data, but simplifying, finding, and accessing the right data. After collecting the data, analysts move to cleaning and analyzing it. This step involves removing errors, fixing inconsistencies, and preparing the dataset for analysis. Then analysts explore the data using charts, statistics, or machine learning techniques to find patterns. Finally, the last step is communication and action. This is extremely important. An insight is valuable only if people understand it. So, analysts present their findings using dashboards, visualizations, or reports. Then, decision makers use these insights to plan their next steps. So, journey from questioning to insight usually follows four stages: define the problem, get the data, analyze the data, communicate the result, and this is exactly where AI is starting to play a huge role in speeding up each of these steps. Now, let's talk about four main types of analytics. These types represent different levels of understanding data. The first type is descriptive analytics. This answers the question, what happened? For example, a company might look at the past sales number or dashboard metrics. Descriptive analytics summarizes historical data. It helps organizations understand their past performance. The second type is diagnostic analysis. The second type is diagnostic analytics. This answers the question, when did it happen? Here, analysts investigate the root cause of a problem. For example, if sales dropped, it helps identifying the reason. Maybe a marketing campaign stopped, maybe a customer demand changed, maybe a product was unavailable. The third type is predictive analytics. This answers the question, what might happen in the future. Using historical data and machine learning tools, analysts can forecast future trends. For example, predicting next month's sales or estimating customer churn. The fourth type is prescriptive analytics. This answers the question, what should we do? Prescriptive analytics suggest actions, for example, increasing marketing budget in special channel or offering discounts at high-risk customers. So these four types move from understanding the past to making decisions about the future. And AI is making these advanced types of analytics much easier and faster. To understand these four types better, let's look at simple examples. Imagine we are analyzing sales data for a company. First, we have descriptive analytics. Here we simply describe what happened. For example, we might say sales by a month for the last year. This gives us clear picture of historical performance. Next is diagnostic analytics. Now we try to understand the reason behind changes. For example, sales dropped because advertising stopped in two regions. So instead of just seeing the drop, we identify the cause. Then comes predictive analytics. For example, next month's sales may be 12% lower. This prediction is based on historical patterns and data models. Finally, we have the prescriptive analytics. This is about recommendation, for example, to recover sales, increase marketing budget through the channel X. So the system not only predicts the problem but also suggests an action. This progression from describing the past to recommending actions is what makes analytics powerful. And AI is helping analysts move through these stages much faster. Now let's see where AI fits into analytics process. AI accelerates every stage of analytical process. First, AI can help ask better questions. Sometimes business questions are vague. AI tools can help convert broad questions into structured analysis plans. For example, turning why customer is leaving into specific metrics to analyze. Second, AI can help with data collection. AI tools can automatically connect to different data sources like databases, APIs, and files. This saves analysts a lot of manual work. Third, AI helps with cleaning and preparing data. This step usually takes the most time. AI can automatically detect missing values, suggest transformations, and identify data issues. Next, AI helps with exploration and analysis. AI tools can generate exploratory data analysis, identify patterns, and even build predictive models. This allows analysts to discover insights much faster. Finally, AI helps with communication. AI tools can generate summaries, create dashboards, and even write explanations of insights. So instead of spending hours preparing reports, analysts can focus on interpreting results. In short, AI acts as a co-pilot throughout the analytics process, helping analysts work faster and smarter while still keeping humans in control. In short, AI acts as a co-pilot throughout the analytics process, helping analysts work faster and smarter while still keeping humans in control. Finally, let's compare how the work of analysts looked before AI and how it works today. Before AI, analysts spent a lot of time doing manual work. They had to write SQL queries, Python scripts from scratch. They also had to manually create charts and dashboards. Because so much time was spent on technical tasks, analysts often had less time to think about deeper questions like why this is happening, what should the business do next. Now, with AI tools, things are changing. Analysts can interact with data using natural language. Instead of writing complex code, they ask questions and generate queries automatically. AI can also generate exploratory analysis automatically. Because many repetitive tasks are automated, analysts now have more time for the most valuable part of their job, and that is reasoning, storytelling, and decision making. So AI is not replacing analysts. Instead, it is transforming their role. Analysts are moving from data processors to statistic decision makers. And that's why learning data analytics with AI is becoming one of the most important skills today. Before we dive in, here are some of the tools that I'll be talking and using in this demo. You'll usually have all of these already, or you can use free tiers. Starting with the first one, which is Excel. It'll already be pre-installed as Office 365 in your systems. So just go to the search bar and type in Excel and you can open it. Excel is usually used for data storage, especially in the form of rows and columns. If you guys don't have Office 365, you can just open your Google. You will have Sheets here. Now, this is a cloud platform, so you don't need any installation prior. So you can start with a blank spreadsheet and you will have the same Excel in your Google. Now, coming to the AI tools, there are two major ones. One is Chatgpt and one is Gemini. So for Chatgpt, this is the console. There is a free version as well. First, start using the free version. For data analytics, I think free version is good enough. But if you want complex level solutions for problems, you can go with pro versions. If not, you can also go with Gemini. So again, you just type in Google Gemini. Again, this is a chatbot, AI chatbot. So you can ask your questions or ask for a code and it will give it. Now let's test these two. Let me start with ChatGPT. Let's ask a formula for sales by region. So just say, give me an Excel formula for calculating sales by region, or you can say grouping by region. So here you go. A short explanation. They have taken a sample data set since they don't know what is the data set, etc. In future, I'll tell you how to actually get the exact code from here, and similarly with Google Gemini. Next, we'll be talking about Python and Pandas. Python can also be used in Google Colab. Now, starting with VS Code, again, you need to install it. So just go with VS Code and install it from here. Now VS Code, now you can add an extension of adding an AI chatbot. So then and there you can get your clarity on why the code is running an error. So here you can see download. You can just download and run the folder and VS Code will be installed. So let me just show you how VS Code is. So this is the VS Code, and in extensions, here you have GitHub Copilot. You can just install it and it will help you sort out all the errors on the go. Now, apart from this, we have Google Colab, which is also one of my favorite tool to use because Google Gemini is already inside the Google Colab. Let me just show you. So let's create a new notebook. And here you can see there we can start coding, and on the go, Gemini will help you figure out what is wrong with your code. Now, these tools are 100% free and no installations required. For Pandas AI, we need to type in one sentence, which is pip install Pandas AI. Let's just put a conditional statement, pip install Pandas AI, and just run it, and Pandas AI will be installed. Now, let this get installed. The next big part is SQL. Now, how can you run SQL? Again, there are multiple ways. One is the BigQuery console.cloud.google.com, which is a free tier, but you need to get your credentials for it. It's a free tier. You can upload the CSV file, etc. The second option will be dbfiddle. Again, dbfiddle.com. It's a free PostgreSQL SQL playground. Also, the third option is SQLite Online. So let me just open that. So here you can type in SQLite Online, and this is the console where you can upload folders and run SQL queries without any requirement of installation or even putting in any information like mail ID or passwords, etc. Now I'll be using SQLite, Google Colab for Python, and ChatGPT as my AI guide. Apart from all these, there is one of the must tool to learn, which is PowerBI. Now again, PowerBI has a desktop model, online model. I'll be using the online model. For this, you need to have an account in Microsoft, so make sure to do that. The desktop version is a free version that you can use. And the next tool will be machine learning. Everything in Google Colab, which includes Scikit-learn, which is pre-installed, Pandas AI, which we have installed, etc. We will be using that as a part of machine learning. Now let's go back to where we were. So this command has run. It's still downloading. Now if you have any query about this, you can just copy and paste it here and say what's the issue. And as you can see, Gemini, which is inbuilt in Google Colab, will identify what exactly the error is and sort it out. So here you can see it has given us other code which can be used instead of the normal pip install pandas. So you can just accept and run. This is the best option in Google Colab. You can just accept and run. The code will get changed to the best possible one. So if I accept and run, pip install upgrade pip setup tools and pip installed. Again, there is an error. You can click on explain error and it will be working on it. And then click on accept and run. Now, because of this option, what took hours of dedicated coding work will become so easy that you can just accept and run and get the code done. All right, now that you have the understand where AI fits, let me show you how it actually works. I'm going to walk you through a real business question and show you the three-step process analysts use with AI as a copilot. And by the end, you will see how fast you can go from a vague question to actual insights. Now, before we start, the first step, as we discussed earlier, is clarify the business question. Start with a clear question. Imagine your manager walks up and says, "Why are we losing customers?" That's too vague. We need to turn that into something we actually analyze. Let me show you how AI helps with that. Now you can open ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, or even Gemini. Here I'll be using ChatGPT. Now here the important thing to notice is how clear your prompts are. The more clearer your prompts are, the more clearer insights or the process you'll get. So just mention to ChatGPT saying, "I am a data analyst. My manager asked, why are we losing customers?" And then ask it to help. So how are you going to do that? Help me break this into 3 to 4 specific analytical questions that I can answer with data. So after that, just type enter. AI has responded, giving us a couple of options for the questions that we can answer for. First one is, when are customers leaving? That is a time period. Then which customer segments are leaving the most? And what behavioral indicate customers are about to leave? And then are these product pricing or service issues during the churn? So basically we'll be targeting, are these product pricing or service issue during the churn? We'll get to analyze this particular question. Now step 2 is get data and explore. Usually you will have the data prior itself. Get the data and start exploring. Now that we know what we are looking for, we need data. Let's say we have a customer database with tables, which includes customer, subscription, transactions. I'll ask AI to help me write a SQL query. Now, what will be the prompt here? You can just mention, I have a database with these tables. Mention the tables, which is customers as the first one. I have two datas in one databases. So let me just mention the first one is customers with the columns such as customer ID, name, let's say sign up, date, and segment. Now this is the first table. The second table will be subscriptions. And here you can mention again customer ID, start date, end date, and status. So these are the tables. And then what is our main questions that we are targeting here is we need a SQL code. So write an SQL code. So as you can see here, here's a clean way to complete churn rate by customer segment for the last 3 months using only 2 tables. We have the definition used, we have churn customer for the last month, and here you have an entire SQL query and some of the points to remember. Boom, AI wrote the SQL for me. Now, do I just copy and paste and run it blindly? The answer is no. I read through it and check the condition. Does it join the right tables? Yes. Does it filter for the last 3 months? Yes. Does it calculate churn correctly? Looks good. This is the key. AI speeds me up, but still I need to verify the logic. If I was doing this manually, it might take me 10 to 15 minutes to write and debug this query. With AI, it just took 30 seconds and I spent 1 minute reviewing it. You can just copy the SQL after reviewing and paste it into the SQL editor. Now let's say I run this query and get results like segment churn, total churn rate percent enterprise is 12, 158, SMB is 445, 300, some numbers. Free trial users will be churning at a rate of 24%, while enterprise is only 8%. That's a huge difference. Now I want to visualize this. Step 2 is visualize with AI. Again, in ChatGPT or Claude, you can type in the prompt and get the visualized data. Now, whatever data you have got from the SQL, you can just ask GPT that. So you can say, I have this data, enterprise is 8% churn, whereas SMB is 15% churn. And then free trial users will be 24% churn. Now I will tell GPT to write a Python code using matplotlib to create a simple bar chart churn rate by segment. Now we are asking ChatGPT to visualize whatever results that we have got. So let's give this. Again, AI gave me the code. I review it, looks good. I run it in Python or even Google Colab. And there you go, you'll have a chat as well. Now we have completed a 3 major steps. One is to collect the data, explore it, and also visualize this. This entire process, which used SQL, Python, and chart, took me around 3 minutes with AI. Without AI, it would be easily 20 to 30 minutes. Now the last step, which is to generate insights and recommendation. Now again, what should be our aim is to get insights from this, which is turning the data into insights and actions. Now I have a chart showing a free trial users churn rate at 24%, but my manager doesn't want charts. They want to know why and what to do about it. Let me ask AI to help me draft insights. Now let's just give the AI saying, write a 3-sentence summary and suggest 2 actionable recommendation to reduce the trial churn rate. Use the details above. Let's give this. Now, as you can see, ChatGPT has replied saying free trial users have highest churn rate of 24% compared to 15% of SMB and 8% of enterprise customers, indicating that early stages users are struggling to see enough value during trial period. This suggests a potential issue without onboarding, product adoption, and previous value before conversion. If this trend continues, a large portion of potential paying customers may be lost before they transition into paid plans. Now, what are some of the actions that we need to take? We need to take improved trial onboarding feature guidelines, which is introduce guided onboarding in-app tutorials, a milestone-based walkthroughs to ensure free trial users quickly experience the product's key value within the first few days. And the second one is trigger engagement intervention for low activity users. Use behavioral tracking to identify trial users with low activity and send targeted emails, product tips, and incentives such as extended trials or feature demos to rearrange them before this trial ends. Now, as you can see, this is perfect. AI just helped me write a professional summary in seconds. Now, do I send this as it is? Not quite. I read it through and ask myself, does this make sense given about what our product is? Are these recommendations realistic for our team? Do I need to add any context about competitors, seasonality, or recent product changes? I might tweak the wording, add a data table, or just recommendation. But instead of starting from a blank page, AI gave me an 80% draft and then I have to refine it to 100%. So this is the 3-step AI-assisted business analysis. The first step is to clarify the question. AI will help you break down vague asks into specific analytical questions. The second step is to get data and explore. AI writes SQL, Python, generates charts, you verify and refine. The step 3 is to generate insights. AI drafts summaries and recommendations. You add business judgment. Now, what are some of the key takeaways here? AI is your co-pilot. It speeds up the mechanical parts, which is writing queries, generating code, drafting text, so you can spend more time on the parts that matter, which is asking the right questions, checking the logic, and making smart recommendations. In the next modules, you will do this yourself with real data sets. Next, here we'll be discussing about how you can use Excel and Python with AI. Now, take an example. I have the data. I need to summarize sales by region and category, but I don't remember Excel pivot syntax. Instead of Googling for 10 minutes, I'll ask ChatGPT. Now you can ask ChatGPT saying, I have a sale dataset in CSV file, in Excel with these columns. Now let's mention the columns. I have order ID, date, region. Let's give what are the regions also mentioned since it is a categorical value. So the region will be north, south, east, and west. The next we have product category, which includes electronics, clothing, home, and sports. And then the last column is revenue. And also I have the column called as quantity. Now, what do we want from this? I want to create a pivot table showing total revenue by region and product category. Now, let's ask it to give step by step instructions for Excel. Now we have a step-by-step process to follow. So let's follow and see if we can sort out the problem. The first is to make sure the data is ready. So I have my data ready here, as you can see. I've opened my Excel file. Click anywhere in the sales data, confirm the headers are the first row and make sure the revenue is in numeric. There are no symbols, etc. So as you can see, the first row is the row ID and then the date, order ID, sports, and the revenue don't have any symbols. This they ask because if there are, you should clean the data. So after that, what's the second step is to create a pivot table. Click on any cells inside the data sets, go to Insert tab and click Pivot Table. So let's click here and go to Insert and Pivot Table. Now here you have two options. Now let's just check what options it's suggesting, which is the table or range should autofill and choose where it plays. So here you can see from table or range option, just click on that. You will have a range. So whatever the GPT says, let's just follow it. Choose where it is placed now, such as new worksheets, recommended, or existing worksheets. So let's do it in the existing worksheet and click on OK. Let's just select the entire data and then I need it in the existing worksheets and OK. Now what's the next step? Build the pivot layout, which is region into product category. On the right, you will see a pivot table fields panels, drag region rows, drag products category columns, and drag revenue tables. So let's do this. So I'll have revenue. What are the other things that I need? Sorry, let's say date and region. So here you can see we have Jan, Feb, March and grand total and product category and revenue. So sum of revenue is also there and quality. If we click on each data that we want, it will be summarizing. Now, after ticking the columns that were suggested by ChatGPT, here you go. We have rows labeled such as clothing. So we have sum of revenue from clothing. From East region, we have so much. North region, we have so much. South region, we have so much. And similarly for electronics and home, sports, and the grand total is also given. Now you can ensure this, the entire process, whether it's right or wrong, because if I sit and do this manually, it will take minutes, probably few hours to do it. But if I have to Google it and do it, at least it'll take me 10 to 15 minutes. Now, with the help of ChatGPT, we have step-by-step approach. AI gave me the exact drag and drop step. AI did give me a drag and drop step-by-step option, so I did it in Excel. This will be done in few seconds. Without AI, I would be Googling Excel pivot tutorial and watching a 10-minute video. Now let's say you want to create a pivot showing total quality sold by region. Try it out yourself and let me know in the comment section below whether you could crack it or not. If you have any more further questions regarding pivot table, again you can give it to ChatGPT, but make sure your prompts are clear and ChatGPT understandable. Now the major thing to consider here is small details matters. So every small details, including the number of rows you have, what kind of a data set is it, if it is a categorical, are the data cleaned or not, etc., should be mentioned in the prompt for a more precise values and step-by-step process. The next step will be analyze the data. Now I'll ask the AI to analyze data and make a chart without writing a single line of code myself. Now the next step is to analyze data. I want to analyze the data in Python, but writing pandas group by from matplot code from scratch takes forever. So let me tell you a quick tip for you to not even write a line of code but visualize data. So I'll be doing this in Google Colab since I have an inbuilt Gemini AI. Now here the first step is to upload the data. So let me just upload the data that I have and I'll copy the column's name and go back and say, can you give me the code to visualize the data I have with columns? What are the columns here? Order ID, date, region. Date, region, again it is specific to west, east and south. Now after region, what are the other columns? Product, category, then we have revenue and quantity. Start from installation of the required libraries and then we need to load the data. So loading the data and then visualize. So let's just give this and wait for a few seconds. So as you can see, the entire code is already been delivered in the cells. The only thing that I have to do is accept and run. So let's just accept and run. So I'll show you how. The first step is pip install matplotlib. There is an error here. Let me just review what's the issue with this. So there are few changes in the code. So let's just do that. I don't think so this is necessary. And if you run this, requirement satisfied. And here, assuming DF already loaded, have we already loaded the data? No. So let me just load the data. PDF read dot, what is the data name here? Sales data. So let's change that. And there is an indentation error. So let's fix that. And yeah, pretty much it will just run it. There's an error. Explain the error. See if anything that I am missing. Okay, the data is small. So that's what Gemini has already understood. So let's just change it. Then I'm just accepting. So the sales here now is normal and there is no error. And you can see it has already given the data frame info. And here you can see visualization, daily revenue over the time. And here's the graph. So here they're showing according to the date what is the total revenue, and you can see in an entire graph, and you can see when they are peaking, when they are not peaking, and come up with the visualizations. And then the second graph is also ready, which is visualization total revenue by region, which region has the highest revenue. So as you can see, we have North has the highest revenue, which is over 2 lakh, and then the least is the West, which is around a lakh change. And the third thing is total revenue by product category, which product category sells the most. So as you can see here, we have electronics selling the most, and then sports, and then clothing, and then home items. And there is another graph which is quality versus revenue. So as you can see, more quality and the number of pieces which revenue generated. So there are more products where the quantity is more and even the revenue is more. There are only 3 of them. So you can visualize like this. So I understood few of the insights of the products just by giving a proper prompt to Gemini, a few tweaks here and there, and there you go. Your insights are all ready for your insights so that you can use these insights to give a future what are the changes that needs to be done. Suppose we can concentrate more on the home products to increase the sales, or either concentrate on electronics since the sales are more from the electronics. Now, if you come to region, we are selling more on the north. So we can make the chain supplement increase more in the north and provide people requirements in the west, which will increase the sales in the west and south and east, etc. So these are few insights that you can provide in Python. I did all this within few minutes, which usually takes hours. As you can see the code, if I would have written this code manually, it would at least take half an hour for me, and I did it in few minutes. And that's the power of AI. Having a little bit knowledge of coding to fix, tweak the code is a must. Blindly do not run the code. Check with the errors, check where needs our assistance, and then run the code. 80% of the work is done by AI, but the 20% should be done by yourself. Now, how do we drive insights from these graphs? Now here I'm going to take a screenshot of all the graphs and paste it in ChatGPT and ask what are the insights are that I can take from these graphs. Let me just reduce the size of the graphs so that I can take a screenshot. So let's put it 8 and 3. So I've just changed the size of the maps. So I'm just going to take a screenshot or download it, however is fine. So just take a screenshot, go back to ChatGPT, give a new chat, paste it here. Similarly for the other two. Now I'll give ChatGPT according to the graphs above. Give me a 3-sentence summary insights and 3 actionable recommendation to increase sales of each category. So let's just give this and see what we can present. So here, as you can see, the 3-sentence insights are: the North region generates the highest total revenue while the West region contributes the least, suggesting stronger market demand or sales performance in the North. Among product categories, electronic produces the highest value, which is the revenue, followed by sports clothing and home products generated at the lowest revenue. The scatter plot indicates the high quality generally leads to higher revenue, especially for electronics, meaning this category benefits the most from increased sales volume. Now, what are the 3 things that can boost the sales? According to the AI, is boost home category sales with targeted promotions such as discounts, bundle offers, or seasonal campaigns to increase demand for the lowest performing category. The first solution to increase the home category given was to increase the discounts, bundle offers, or seasonal campaigns. Next, we have expand electronics inventory and marketing, especially in the North region. Since the category already generates the highest revenue, and scaling it could significantly increase the overall scale. So wherever we are getting the highest amount of revenue, we can increase the marketing size for it. And then the third one is to increase cross-selling strategies by bundling clothes and sports products with electronic purchases, encouraging customers high-valued electronics to add complementary items to their carts. Now, another solution is that we can give offers with grouped in categories. Suppose if you get an item from electronics, you can have another item as a discounted product, etc. So this boosts the value sales of the electronics as well as the other categories which are not selling that much. So this boosts both the way sales. So this can be presented and can be implemented and can eventually cause a high rise in sales. And this again is done all without any coding. We can take these insights, but also make sure if there is something that is missing and if you really want to try it, do try it, because creativity comes from human brains. Next, we'll look into Power BI. Now again, Power BI is an excellent tool for visualizing, as we all know. There's this new option in Power BI which I'll show you. Let me just see if I have any. We'll just enter the data manually, copy this, and then paste it here. And now, after pasting the data in Power BI, there is an option of auto create report. So this is the most useful option that they have given us. So if you click on auto create, you will see a different kind of report that usually would take hours to create. So here you can see your report is ready. And if you click on view, here you go, you can literally present this entire graphs to whoever you're presenting it to. You can select what kind of graphs you're having. You can see clearly here that sports are selling more. And then here we have count the table. We can change the columns and get different graphs. We can just click on the columns which the graphs will change and you can get the insights from those. There you go. So here you can see count of the table, etc. So the entire graph systems are given. You can also select what kind of graphs you want, what kind of categorical data you want to plot, etc. So you can just go through the reports and you can present it to your managers or whoever is concerned, give your points, how to increase the sales, and there you go. As a data analyst, your entire 80% of the work nowadays are done by AI and 20% requires your efforts. Before we wrap up, let's quickly go over the key takeaways from today's session. First, we learned that data analytics helps turn raw data into meaningful insights that support better decision making in businesses. Second, we saw that organizations use different types of analytics to understand what happened in the past, what is happening now, and what might happen in the future. Third, we discussed how artificial intelligence is transforming analytics by automating tasks like data cleaning, analysis, and visualization. And most importantly, instead of replacing analysts, AI acts as a powerful assistant that helps analysts work faster and focus more on deeper insights and strategic thinking. So, to conclude, the future of analytics is not humans versus AI, but humans working with AI. Analysts who learn how to combine data skills with AI tools will be able to solve problems faster, discover insights more efficiently, and create greater impact for businesses. For more such videos, do like, share, and subscribe to Simplilearn. If you found this video helpful, do like and share it with others, and also subscribe to Simplilearn for more such insights. Thank you and keep learning with Simplilearn.